Charlie, and I'm going to teach you guys how to do a folded book turkey, like one of these examples here. First, well, I've done half of this book already, folding the pages so that it won't take so long. But you're going to be just folding the pages up, take one corner, and put it approximately where the words or the pictures begin on the page. Kind of use that as a marker to take the corner up to, and just fold. And just keep on going. You want to keep going until you have the majority of the book done. Leave about 24 to 25 pages at the end. We're going to cut those out so that we can make the cones on the back to make it look like the turkey's tail. Occasionally you'll fold one a little wonky. You can just go back and refold it. All of them should be approximately the same height. If they're a little off, it's not a big deal. Getting towards the end of the book here, what I would do is I would leave the flyleaf. I like to find ones with words on them. There's a bunch of blank pages here. I would just rip those out. You want the ones with the words on it so people can tell that it's a book. Just get rid of those. And then I just go through and I just rip them out. It doesn't matter what the bottom looks like. It may look a little rough, but it's okay. The spines are going to want to do weird things. So what I typically do is you can take a X-Acto knife, or you can take a pair of scissors or whatever, and I would cut down the side. To make it lay flat. This spine looks like it's had a lot of use. I may have to glue it to where it'll stay flat and fan the pages correctly. So what I'd do is I would just glue and possibly cut down the side of the binding if it's not fanning your pages like you need it to. Just using a hot glue gun so that it will adhere quickly, hopefully. There we go. The binding was coming up here in the middle, so what I did is I cut down the side and I re-glued the binding to the book cover. And so now the pages fan out. All pretty. All right. So now the next step would be to make these cones for the back of the turkey for its tail. I typically just use a pencil. However, once you kind of get the hang of it, you'll be able to make the cones pretty easily. I try to make the rough edge where we ripped it out the bottom so that you can't see it. So all you see is the pretty top cut edge. Kind of roll it in a circle around the center. And then you've got a cone. Kind of adjust the size to however you want. I kind of like the bigger cones in the center, and then it gets smaller towards the bottom, but you can do it however you'd like. To keep the cones together, I just use a glue stick and glue the corner so that it'll stay together. Again, it doesn't really need to be perfect. It's going to be behind everything anyways. You'll need approximately 24 to 25 of these, so make sure you leave room at the end of the book. All right, now we've finished our 24, 25, somewhere around there cones. Now we're gonna start gluing them to the back. So we got our handy dandy hot glue gun. We're just going to put some on the front. And just start sticking them to the back of the pages. Kind of have to hold it there for a few seconds until it kind of hardens. Kind of try to put them all at approximately the same height. Nobody's really gonna notice if it's a little off. If you have gaps or if the turkey is not quite fanning out the way you want to, you can always just put a bead in between the cones and glue them together if you need to. This one's pretty full, so don't think it really needs any glue in between them. Alright, next we'll just start our next layer. Kind of want to put them up a little bit higher than the others. Kind of try to put them in between the other cones to make it look fuller. Kind of try to squish them in between so that the glue will adhere. Here, so I can just glue these together. Kind of fix the gap. You can also make more cones if you need to. Looks pretty good. So all of this is fixable. You can always add glue if you need to. There's a gap. All right. Now I'm going to cut out the turkey head that we're going to put in it. These should be available online with the video so that you can use them. What you'll probably print them out on is very bright white paper. And if you're using an older book, it's going to have some age to it and it's not going to be bright white. So the whiteness of the paper is going to stick out. For this one that has kind of some age on the pages, all I did was take the turkey's head and use a colored pencil and color it brown. So you can find whatever color works for the color of pages that you have, so that it'll match. If you don't want to use a colored pencil and you want to try to make it look really old and authentic somehow, you can try dyeing the paper with tea. I've heard people doing that. If you want to make this a more family project, you could also just let your kids color in the turkey head. It might be rainbow, but it might be kind of cool. Once you've got both sides cut out, then you're just going to put them together. You can use tape, glue, whatever you want. I'm just going to use a glue stick. Tape would even work. I've printed these out on cardstock so that they're a little thicker and will stand up easily. But I've also just used paper before too, and it works. Then you can just either just stick it in the book, or you can add some glue to make sure it stays where you want it. One last thing, if your book has colored paper here on the bottom and you want to change it, obviously you can just easily do that by cutting out another piece of paper and putting underneath it, or if it looks gross or whatever, has writing, you can just glue another piece of paper underneath and hide it. So you can also cover the book if you need to. But there it is. There is your folded book turkey. Thanks for watching.